Hello everyone, Jai Shri Krishna and welcome to the economics class. We are on to chapter 1 and this is our second lecture of first chapter. Our first lecture we had just a day back, in which we studied the introduction of graphs in economics and we also studied the meaning of diagram. Meaning of graph is to be done today. So, a graph now. Today we are going to study graph. What is a graph? A graph is also a representation of observable data. So, what is it? Graph is a representation of observable data. It is same as like diagram. This is also a representation of observable data. It is also a representation of observable data by way of a picture. By way of a picture, but a graph is drawn for statistical information which is not self-explanatory. Now here where it is different than the diagram. The diagram is generally drawn for self-explanatory data, whereas this is for non-self-explanatory data. A graph is, so it is for non-self-explanatory. So this is for what? This kind of, this graph is for such information which is not self-explanatory. So this is for, I will write down in the form of points, this is for not self-explanatory data. This is for not self-explanatory data. Non-self-explanatory data. A graph is drawn for data with continuous frequency distribution. So it is for what? For continuous frequency distribution. For continuous frequency distribution. In order to simplify such data, use of statistical tool is made. So here statistical tools are used. Statistical tools are used. A graph is also drawn for other types of complex or unclear statistical information. So diagrams are for easier informations, whereas graphs are for complex information. This is for complex, unclear, information. Thorough knowledge of statistics is essential, which was not essential in the case of diagrams. So thorough knowledge. Is essential. So thorough knowledge of statistics is essential to study the graph and to understand the graph. A graph can extend over one or more of the. Okay. So as far as the diagram was concerned, I'll just go through the main points of diagram so that you can connect and link between the two concepts. Diagram is what? It is also a representation of observable data by way of picture. And this is also a representation of observable data by way of picture. So as far as the first point is concerned, both are same. So if you are asked compare and contrast between a diagram and graph, so this is the point of comparison. This is the same. Compare and contrast में compare मतलब दोनों की जो similarities है वो बतानी होती है और contrast में दोनों के different points बताने होते हैं. Okay. फिर scales and requirements are used while drawing a diagram. Diagram में scales and requirements measurements use होते हैं, इसमें भी use होते हैं. Knowledge of statistics is not required to draw a diagram. Diagram में knowledge of statistics is not required. Here thorough knowledge of statistics is essential. Then diagram is for self-explanatory data and it can also be understood by layman. क्योंकि सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी डेटा है और उसमें स्टैटिस्टिक्स का नॉलेज नहीं होगा तो भी चलेगा, तो कोई भी कॉमन मैन, कोई भी साधारण व्यक्ति उसको समझ पाएगा. तो अगर लेमैन के लिए अगर आपको कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन देनी है तो आपको डायग्राम के फॉर्म में बताना चाहिए. बट ग्राफ्स आर नॉट फॉर लेमैन, दे आर फॉर दोज पीपल हु हैव गॉट द नॉलेज, थॉरो नॉलेज, नॉलेज भी नहीं, थॉरो नॉलेज ऑफ स्टैटिस्टिक्स. तो जिनको थॉरो नॉलेज ऑफ स्टैटिस्टिक्स है वही ग्राफ समझ पाएंगे, ठीक है. जबकि लेमैन को ग्राफ समझ में नहीं आएगा, उनको सिर्फ डायग्राम समझ में आएंगे. अब दिस इज फॉर not for layman. I can add this one more point. This is not for layman. It is not for common people. It is only for the people who have got knowledge of statistics. Further, that means diagram was for discrete. It was presented for discrete frequency distribution, whereas graphs can be used for continuous frequency distribution. Now what is the discrete frequency and continuous frequency distribution? That we'll study when we do the graphs. Okay, a graph is drawn for the complex problems and complex data and complex information, whereas the diagrams for the simple information, self-explanatory information. ये उस information को जो लोग ऐसे ही समझ नहीं सकते उनके ग्राफ बनाए जाते हैं, और जो एकदम सिंपल है उनके लिए डायग्राम्स बनाए जाते हैं. पर a graph can extend over one or more of the four quadrants. Okay, before I forget, you can consider this as a 3-mark question. 3-mark question में diagram itself also can be for 3 marks. Give a small explanation on, brief explanation on diagram. Give a brief explanation of graph, or give a brief explanation of both of them, or compare and contrast both of them. ये सारा 3 marks में पूछे जा सकते हैं. So a graph can extend over one or more of the 4 quadrants. You know that x-axis and y-axis, when they intersect, it makes 4 segments. Those 4 segments are known as the 4 quadrants, obtained by the intersection of x and y axis on a plane, and it cannot be drawn without taking appropriate measurements. So here measurements are required. Similarly, in diagrams also measurements were required. So one more point, measurements are required. So if you are asked a short note, you can write point wise like this also. What? A graph is what? First of all you will define. A graph is a representation of observable data by way of a picture. For it is generally used for that data which is not self-explanatory, that is complex in nature. It is more useful for the data which has continuous frequency distribution. It can be used for the interpretation of graph. Statistical tools are also used, and it is used for unclear, as we said earlier, for complex and unclear data. This is more useful. For understanding and interpreting the graphs, a person should have thorough knowledge of statistics, and it is not meant for laymen. It is meant for experts and educationists and policy makers and politicians. For them, graphs are used. and the measurements are required in this also and in diagrams also. Further, a graph is generally drawn on a graph paper. Graphs are used done more by researchers and educationists. So policymakers, researchers, etc. Those who are experts in given particular fields. For them, graphs are more useful. Graphs are not meant for common men because they are not for common problems. They are for specific peculiar problems, and for that peculiar problems, some unclear data, and for specific data, graphs are to be made. A graph is generally drawn on a graph paper. Graphs are used more by researchers and educationists. Graphs are not used for conveying information to general public, that is lay person. It is not for lay people, it is not for common man, it is not for lay persons, it is for experts, researchers, educationists, decision makers and policy makers. Now example of data with discrete, that is discontinuous frequency distribution. It is discrete frequency distribution, and one example has been given for continuous frequency distribution. Now you can be asked 2 marks each question. So 2-marker question, give one example of discrete frequency distribution, or you may be asked give one example of continuous frequency distribution. Now in your textbook both these examples have been given. I will explain what is the discrete frequency distribution and what is the continuous frequency distribution. In continuous frequency distribution again there is exclusive and inclusive frequency distribution that we will study one by one. This is a table which shows price. There is a table with 2 columns. In one column price in rupees is given, and in the other column demand in units is given, that is frequency. Such kind of tables, n number of tables we have drawn last year when we studied law of demand. So this is the kind of table here I am drawing. Price in rupees, and demand in units. Now price in rupees 1, 2, 5, 7, 10. And frequency has been given 100, 80, 70, 20, 10. 100, 80, 70, 20 and 10. So this is the table. Now this is a discrete frequency distribution where there is one item given in the price, where there is no range that has been given. Had it been a range 1 to 3 rupees, then this. But demand does not work that way. You know, demand is the quantity that a person is willing to buy at a given price, at a given time and at a given place. So quantity of a commodity that a person is willing to buy at a given price. When it is at a given price, then if I write here 1 to 3 rupees, so कितना demand है? So 1 rupee कि 1 rupee 25 पैसा कि 1 rupee 50 पैसा कि 2 rupees कि कितना? That will not be able to, we will not be able to make out that. So for demand, thus such kind of distribution, such kind of making a range, a class interval is not possible. So at a given price, at an exact price only you can determine the demand. So demand के केस में अगर मैं ऐसा लिखूँ कि 1 to 2 rupees जब है तब इतना डिमांड है. अब 1 to 2 rupees में there are n number of price possible. N number of price can be possible. जैसे 1 rupee, 1 rupee 5 पैसा, 1 rupee 10 पैसा, 1 rupee 6 पैसा, 1.20 पैसा, 1.30 पैसा. So what 1 rupee and 20 पैसा? There are so many possibilities over there. So in those possibilities, demand would keep on changing. How can you write one figure for the price interval of 1 to 2? तो 1 to 2 में तो बहुत सारे कॉम्बिनेशंस पॉसिबल है, बहुत सारी पॉसिबिलिटीज हैं, और बहुत सारी पॉसिबिलिटीज के लिए एक ही डिमांड नहीं हो सकता। 1 रुपये 10 पैसा होगा तो भी 100 डिमांड है, और 1 रुपये 50 पैसा होगा तो भी 100 डिमांड है। मतलब प्राइस बढ़ रही है तो भी डिमांड घट नहीं रहा है, तो दैट मीन्स यू आर वर्किंग अगेंस्ट द लॉ ऑफ डिमांड। So in that case, such kind of distribution is not possible. So discrete frequency तभी possible है जब there is only one item possible, one figure only is possible, and a class of 1 to 2, a range is not given. A range is not possible in that particular case. So this is what is the discrete frequency distribution. If you draw a graph for this, you will get a x-axis and y-axis you are drawing, and you will get where you measure the quantity demanded on x-axis and price on the y-axis, and you will get a downward falling line or a curve or a zigzag line, whatever it is, whatever you get by this, that will be considered as your graph. It can be a linear line, it can be a curvature, a curve, or it can be a bit zigzag line. They are considered to be graphs. Example of data with continuous frequency distribution. Now this was discrete frequency. This was discrete frequency. Now continuous frequency distribution. Continuous frequency distribution where continuous frequency distribution is where you have got the range of the figures here, data here. Here there is no range, there is only one shot. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, likewise they have given 1, 2, 5, 7. So at a given point, this is what is the demand. It is at a given point. Whereas in continuous there is not point but there is a range. Now see, here income class is taken. Income class and number of people. Now income class 10,000 to 20,000. So 10,000 to 20,000. 20,000 to 30,000. 30,000 to 40,000. And the number of people falling under this range. Here there was no range. If here it was 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, then it would have been a discrete frequency. Here see, 500 people who are earning, whose income is from 10,000 to 20,000. It's falling in this particular class, in this range. That range is known as class. Here it is 300 and here it is 100. Now this is what? This is a continuous frequency distribution. Now question may arise in your mind, what if a person's salary or income is 20,000 exactly? Whether he will fall under this category or this category. So whether he will be falling in which category? Similarly, if a person's income is 30,000, he will be falling in this category or this category. Here one rule has to be established in the beginning of the research. This is generally followed by, this kind of tables are followed by researchers. तो रिसर्चर्स को पहले ही डिसाइड करना होता है कि हमको जो लास्ट क्लास इंटरवल का जो क्लास जो है ये क्लास का जो लास्ट जो फिगर है उसको हमको इंक्लूड करना है कि एक्सक्लूड करना है. तो इट इज टू बी इंक्लूडेड और टू बी एक्सक्लूडेड. तो यू विल हैव टू इधर अगर किसी की इनकम 20,000 है और अगर आप उस ये वाली फिगर को एक्सक्लूड करते हैं तो 20,000 मतलब वो इस वाले क्लास इंटरवल में है. That means you are excluding him from the earlier one. तो इस वाले फ्रीक्वेंसी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन को हम कहते हैं एक्सक्लूसिव फ्रीक्वेंसी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. एक्सक्लूसिव व्हाट? एक्सक्लूसिव कंटिन्यूअस फ्रीक्वेंसी. कंटिन्यूअस में भी ये है exclusive. Exclusive means he will be excluded from any one. He will be either excluded from here or here according whatever you decide. हाँ, अगर हम ये डिसाइड करते हैं कि नहीं 10,000 से 20,000 जिसका होगा इनकम वो यहाँ पर आएगा और उसके बाद 1 रुपया भी बढ़ गया तो he will come here. That means you are including him here but excluding here. So somewhere you are excluding because somewhere you are excluding because you will have to exclude because that figure is appearing in 2 classes. That is why. So this kind of method is continuous frequency but exclusive. Now inclusive method. I'll draw here only. Inclusive method. Inclusive method में क्या होगा देखिए. There's an example given in. I am taking your textbook examples only so that you understand them in a better way. That you can frame n number of examples on this basis. Now classes of marks. Now this was income class. This is class of marks. Class मतलब range. Class of marks. Class of marks 10 to 19, 20 to 29, and 30 to 39. Now this is very much clear. A person who is getting marks till 19 will fall here. 20 से 29 here. मतलब 19 वाला इस वाले रेंज में जाएगा, 20 वाला इस वाले रेंज में जाएगा, 29 वाला इस वाले रेंज में और 30 वाला इस वाले रेंज में. मतलब it is very much clear. So he has not been excluded anywhere. He is included in one of them. So this will be inclusive. This is also continuous frequency, but inclusive वाला. This is continuous, exclusive. Exclusive में there will be repetition. There will be repetition. 20,000 दो बार रिपीट हुआ, 30,000 दो बार रिपीट हुआ. मतलब पहले वाले क्लास इंटरवल का एंड और उसके बाद वाले क्लास इंटरवल का बिगिनिंग जो अमाउंट है वो बिगिनिंग जो फिगर है वो रिपीट हो रहा है. यहाँ पर इट इज नॉट रिपीटिंग. फॉर हियर देयर आर 50, 30 and 10 needed. Okay. So examples of data with discrete, that is discontinuous frequency distribution has been given. Example of data with continuous frequency distribution. अब continuous frequency distribution का अगर आपको example देने के लिए कहा जा रहा है तो आपको दोनों देना पड़ेगा because they are not specified any which one. हाँ specify किया तो you can give one, otherwise you have to give both of them. Okay. So we finish here for today. Today what did we study? Today we studied the meaning of graph. We also studied the difference between the graph and the diagram. You have to make one short note specifying the difference between the two. Give the title, compare and contrast between diagram and graph. And then compare मतलब give the similarities, title similarities, give the similarities between the two. And the distinction between the two. Distinction with the point of difference is required. Okay. And then we also studied the different types of frequency distribution. Discrete and continuous. Discrete where there is only one, here where there is no class given. Okay. No class given here, and where the amount here where the figures are into a class. Figures into a class. Again where there is a repetition between these two. The last figure and of one class and the first figure of the next class would be repeated. That would be exclusive. And where there is no such repetition, that is an inclusive method. So we stop here for this lecture. In the next lecture we will start with the importance of graphs and diagrams in economics. Take care.